Hare Krishna everyone. Krishna Prabhu. Can you share the sloka 3:15:31? Prabhu, is the Kirtan over? No?
No much, we didn't start Kirtan.
Oh, I'll just. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranja Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranja Yamuna Tira Varachari Yamuna Tira Varachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranja Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranja Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranganita Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Prabhu, can you zoom a little? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Can go to the settings, I think, and on the top. Hare Krishna everyone. So let's
Hare Krishna, can you speak a little louder?
It's not clear. Hare Krishna. Is it okay?
No, a little louder if possible.
Hare Krishna. Is that okay? Hare Krishna everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
It's loud, right? Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhu, you can zoom. Can you zoom a little? The screen. Am I audible now for you? Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So, Bhagavatam 3rd canto, 15th chapter, 31st sloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tabhyam misatsu animisheshu nishityamana
Tabhyam mishatsu animesheshu nishidyamana.
Swarha tamahi api harer pratihara papyam.
Svarhatamahi hare pratihara pabhyam.
Uchchu suhrittama didrikshita panga ishat.
Uchu suhritama jidrikshita banga ishat.
Kamanujena sahasata upaplutaksha.
Kamanujena sahasata upaplutakshaha.
Tabhyam mishatso animisheshu nishidyamana.
Tabhyam mishatso animesheshu nishidyamana.
Swarha tamahi api harer pratihara papyam.
Svarhatamahi hare pratihara pabhyam.
Uchchu suhrittama didrikshita panga ishat.
Uchu suhritama jidrikshita banga ishat.
Kamanujena sahasata upaplutakshaha.
Kamanujena sahasata upaplutakshaha.
Tapyam misatsu animisheshu nishidyamanaha.
Tabhyam mishatsu animesheshu nishidyamanaha.
Swarha tamam hi api harer pratihara papyam.
Svarhatamihi hare pratihara pabhyam.
Uchchu suhrittama didrikshita panga ishat.
Uchu suhritama jidrikshita banga ishat.
Kamanujena sahasata upaplutakshaha.
Kamanujena sahasata upaplutakshaha.
Prabhu, can you please chant?
Yes, ma'am. Tabhyam mishatso animesheshu nishidyamanaha. Svarhatamahi hare pratihara pabhyam. Uchu suhritama jidrikshita banga ishat. Kamanujena sahasata upaplutakshaha.
Hare Krishna, anyone like to chant?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Tabhyami satsau animeshu nishidya manaha swarha tamahai api hare pratihara bhavyam uchchasruhuttama dridiksta banga isat kamanujena sahasata upaplutaksha. Hare Krishna Mataji.
ताभ्यां मिषत्स्वनिमिषेषु निषिध्यमानाः स्वर्हत्तमायपि हरे प्रतिहारभाभ्याम् उच्चुश्रुतम् त्रिदृक्षितभङ्ग ईषत् कामानुजेन सहसता उपप्लुक्षः. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna, anyone else?
Abhyami sattvat animesheshu nishidyamana sarha tamahe apiharer pratihara papyam uccha susrutama didrukshitabhanga ishat kamanujena sasata upaplutaksha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, we'll see the synonyms. Tabhyam, by those two potters.
Tabhyam, by those two porters.
Misatsu, while looking on.
Mishatsu, while looking on.
Animisheshu, demigods living in Vaikuntha.
Animisheshu, demigods living in Vaikuntha.
Nishidyamanaha, being forbidden.
Nishidyamanaha, being forbidden.
So arhatamaha, by far the fittest persons.
So arhatamaha, by far the fittest persons.
He api, although.
He api also.
Hare of Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Hare of Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Pratihara papyam, by the two doorkeepers.
Pratihara pabhyam, by the two doorkeepers.
Uchu, who said.
Uchu, who said.
Suhrittama, most beloved.
Suhrittama, most beloved.
Didrikshita, eagerness to see.
Didrikshita, eagerness to see.
Bange, hindrance.
Bange, hindrance.
Ishat, slight.
Ishat, slight.
Kama anujena, by the younger brother of lust, anger.
Kama anujena, by the younger brother of lust, anger.
Sahasa, suddenly.
Sahasa, suddenly.
Te, those great sages.
Those great sages.
Upapluta, agitated.
Upapluta, agitated.
Akshaha, eyes.
Akshaha, eyes.
Translation. When the Kumaras, although by far the fittest persons, were thus forbidden entrance by the two chief doorkeepers of Sri Hari, while other divinities looked on, their eyes suddenly turned red because of anger, due to their great eagerness to see their most beloved master Sri Hari, the personality of Godhead. When the Kumaras, although by far the fittest persons,
also by far the fittest persons,
were thus forbidden
was thus forbidden.
Entrance by the two chief doorkeepers
Entrance by the two chief doorkeepers
of Sri Hari,
of Sri Hari,
while other divinities looked on,
while as divinities looked on,
their eyes suddenly turned red
their eyes suddenly turned red
because of anger,
because of anger,
due to their great eagerness
due to their great eagerness
to see their beloved master,
to see their most beloved master,
Sri Hari,
Sri Hari,
the personality of Godhead.
the personality of God.
Yes, Neeraja Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, purport by His Grace Divine A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. According to the Vedic system, a sannyasi, a person in the renounced order of life, is dressed in saffron-colored garments. This saffron dress is practically a passport for the mendicant and sannyasi to go anywhere. The sannyasi's duty is to enlighten people in Krishna consciousness. Those in the renounced order of life have no other business but preaching the glories and supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Vedic sociological conception is that a sannyasi should not be restricted. He is allowed to go anywhere and everywhere he wants, and he is not refused any gift he might demand from a householder. The four Kumaras came to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana. The word Suruttama, best of all friends, is important. As Lord Krishna states in the Bhagavad-Gita, he is the best friend of all living entities. Surhudam Sarva Bhutanam. No one can be a greater well-wishing friend to any living entity than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is so kindly disposed towards everyone that, in spite of our completely forgetting our relationship with the Supreme Lord, He comes himself, sometimes personally, as Lord Krishna appeared on this earth, and sometimes as his devotee, as did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and sometimes he sends his bona fide devotees to reclaim all the fallen souls. Therefore, he is the greatest well-wishing friend of everyone, and the Kumaras wanted to see him. The doorkeepers should have known that the four sages had no other business, and therefore to restrict them from entering the palace was not apt. In this verse, it is figuratively stated that the younger brother of desire suddenly appeared in person when the sages were forbidden to see their most beloved personality of Godhead. The younger brother of desire is anger. If one's desire is not fulfilled, the younger brother anger follows. Here we can mark that even great saintly persons like the Kumaras were also angry, but they were not angry for their personal interests. They were angry because they were forbidden to enter the palace to see the personality of Godhead. Therefore, the theory that in the perfectional stage one should not have anger is not supported in this verse. Anger will continue even in the liberated stage. These four mendicant brothers, the Kumaras, were considered liberated persons, but still they were angry because they were restricted in their service to the Lord. The difference between the anger of an ordinary person and that of a liberated person is that an ordinary person becomes angry because his sense desires are not being fulfilled, whereas a liberated person like the Kumaras becomes angry when restricted in the discharge of duties for serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the previous verse, it has been clearly mentioned that the Kumaras were liberated persons. Vidittama Tattva means one who understands the truth of self-realization. One who does not understand the truth of self-realization is called ignorant. But one who understands the self, the super self, their interrelation and activities in self-realization is called Vidittatma Tattva. Although the Kumaras were already liberated persons, they nevertheless became angry. This point is very important. Becoming liberated does not necessitate losing one's sensual activities. Sense activities continue even in the liberated stage. The difference is, however, that sense activities in liberation are accepted only in connection with Krishna consciousness, whereas sense activities in the conditioned stage are enacted for personal sense gratification. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayesha Padreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavadir Uttama Sloge Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lange Dekirim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Shri Guru Dina Dharanam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhudale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavati Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna तव्यं मिसत्सु अनिमिषेषु निषिध्यमाना स्वर्हातमाहि अपि हरेर्प्रतिहारपव्यम् उच्चु सुहृत्तमतिदृक्षितभङ्ग ईषत् कामानुजेन सहसात उपाप्लुतक्षः. Translation. When the Kumaras, although by far the fittest persons, were thus forbidden entrance by the two chief doorkeepers of Sri Hari, while other divinities looked on, their eyes suddenly turned red because of anger, due to their great eagerness to see their most beloved master Sri Hari, the personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. So here we stopped where the four Kumaras, the Sanat Kumaras, they're going to the Vaikunta and they passed all the 6 doors. They came to the 7th door. There was the doorkeepers Jaya and Vijaya. And then finally, because they were just young boys, 4 to 5 years old and naked Brahmin boys, the Jaya Vijayas didn't know their glories and they stopped them. So they were angry. Why they were showing their angry? It's transcendental angry because they're liberated souls. And Prabhupada says that even anger is not denied in transcendental service, right? Even after liberation, there is anger. But then why they are angry? Not for material sense gratification, that I have a lot of unfulfilled desires and I get angry. No, they are angry because someone is stopping them from doing the service to the Supreme Lord, or someone is obstructing them from reaching the Sri Hari. So that's how pure devotees use. The anger is also used in Krishna service. Yukta Vairagya means using everything in Krishna service. And we have a lot of excuse in material platform to say it's Yukta Vairagya. But then liberated souls also get angry. It's like not forbidden. These but it is used for Krishna service. Okay, so that's where we stop. And now everyone is like just looking at them. The four Kumaras and the Jaya Vijayas are getting cursed. And then here Krishna, Prabhupada mentions in the purport that Krishna is a well-wishing friend, a true friend, right? So that's a sloka from the 5th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, 29th sloka. The peace formula says, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam nyatvam mam shanti mrichati suhridam sarva bhutanam. Right? Krishna is the supreme controller. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, and he's our only well-wishing friend. What do you mean by friends in material world? Friend is someone who is in need, who is with you when you are in need. It means both in happiness and distress, the friends have to be with you. When you become poor or rich, the friend has to be with you, right? Whatever mistakes you do, a true friend understands you, forgives you, and be with you, right? That's true friendship. Not like in material world, it's like give and take policy. Or the one of the friends become bankrupted, all the other friends leave. Most of the time you go to a restaurant, have a get together, you have a lunch or dinner, and then when the bill comes, all of them just escape somewhere to wash their hands, or might be get a call or something, so that nobody wants to pay the bill. And it's not just give and take. What do I get by keeping a friendship with this person? No, that's what material friendship is about. And if something happens, the next day that same best friend becomes your enemy. So many instances you all would have experienced in your personal life, how a close friend who you would have thought like is going to be with me forever, but then something happens, might be some kind of a small misunderstanding. They don't even try to clear it out, and they just is very angry with you, and they lose all connections with you, and they know all of your secrets, and so they become a friend. What do you say? Your enemies, your friends, something like that. Those enemies enemy become your friend, so that you can destroy the other person. So that's in the material platform. But then Krishna is the true well-wisher. What do you mean by that? That he doesn't expect anything from us, and he's happy when you serve him, but then he doesn't expect anything from you, and he gives you whatever you want. Yes, there are restrictions for us, because our karma is coming on between, that we don't get everything what we desire. If every one of us gets everything what we desire, then nobody surrenders to the Lord, and nobody thinks of self-realization, right? Everyone is so rich in this world. Just imagine, there's no poverty. Everyone is rich. Everyone's so educated. Everyone has nice job, big cars and bungalows and everything. And then where's the point where people will be always in Maya, and then they enjoy life, forgetting about the self-realization, right? The goal of life. So here Krishna is a well-wishing friend, in the sense, even when we are in trouble, when we are in problem, Krishna is always with us. We don't realize it, but Krishna is the best friend. So there was a story where a small boy, he wanted he wanted to have something for his teacher. Like in the school, all the boys were asked to bring some foodstuff, something to the teacher, so that a kind of a festival can be arranged. So he was very poor, that boy, and went home and said his mother that tomorrow I have to take something for my teacher. I have to give something, some sweets or something. But they were very poor. They didn't have anything. So the mother is a devotee, and she said, you go to the next by a small forest area, and call out for your brother. He is called Dina Bandhu. Dina Bandhu means who is the friend of the poor. Who's that? Krishna. So the mother said that only Dina Bandhu Bhaiya can help you, or Baba can help you. Just go to the forest and call out, Dina Bandhu brother, Dina Bandhu brother, where are you? Just come. I need some help. So the mother was actually kind of joking, but then the kid took it very seriously and went to see for Krishna, because only he can help, and that's what his mother told. So he went on calling Dina Bandhu, and that's another name of Krishna. Krishna came because that boy was so innocent and was calling out, just so eager to see the Lord. Prabhupada says, you don't have to pay any price for Krishna consciousness. Eagerness should be there. Eagerness to know Krishna, eagerness, and that's not possible even after so many lifetimes. So that's why that eagerness to know about the Lord, to see the Lord, to serve the Lord, that's very important. So finally Krishna appears, and he gives a small pot of curd, dahi, and then the child takes it very happily, goes home, and then the mother is also happy. Go give it to your teacher. So when the teacher saw, it was only so small pot, and the teacher's like, this is not enough. There are so many kids, 50 kids. How will I, with this small pot of dahi, curd, how can I serve all of them? See, your friends have brought like kgs and 5 and 10 kgs of sweets and everything. This is just a small pot. So the teacher didn't bother. He just kept it on the side. And the child felt a little bad, but what to do? He went back home. But then what happened? As the teacher was serving curd from that pot, the moment the curd gets empty in the pot, again the pot used to be full. Again it's emptied, again it's used to be full. It's like an Akshaya Patra. It was going on getting filled up, because it's given by Krishna, right? It was not just a small. And then the teacher was so happy, called the boy back. It's like, who gave this? This is my brother, my friend, my best friend. Who's that? Krishna. So any situation, Krishna is always with, not only for material deeds. It seems like even if you have material desire, it's not wrong asking Krishna. Who else will you ask? Who else will a child ask if he has any desire except his parents? He can't go to the neighborhood and say, I want a pencil box tomorrow, or I want a notebook. He has to ask his parents, right? So asking is not a problem. As we advance, we don't ask anything. But initially, 4 kind of people come to Krishna: Artho, Arthartho, Jnani, Jitnyasu. Most of them come for distress, and half of them come for money. So that's not a problem to go to Krishna instead of going to the demigods. Because what happened to the demigods when Ravan is a great worshipper of Lord Shiva? He had 10 heads. He even sacrificed his heads on the fire sacrifice to please Lord Shiva. But finally, what happened? He wanted to take away Lord's property, Lord Ram's property, Mother Sita, and he was destroyed. Right? So much tapasya he did, no? And then what happened? What about Kamsa? He was Mother Durga's devotee, and then he was also destroyed. And Hiranyakashipu, on one leg he stood and did lot of tapasya to please Brahma. Even he was destroyed, right? But Dhruva Maharaj, on the other hand, went to the forest to get some material properties, to become a king greater than his father. when he was insulted by his stepmother. And his mother Suniti told, go to the forest, only the Lord can help. Look at the irony here. As parents in this material world, to send the child to school in a van, in a bus, the parents are so worried. So many things they think. Will my baby be safe, and will the driver take care of the baby? No accidents on the way, and will the baby reach safely in the school and all that. So much concern. But Suniti, on the other hand, in Satyuga, Dhruv Maharaj was just 5 years old, and she didn't have anyone else than her son, and she just told, go to forest. Now, how confident she was on Lord, because she is a pure devotee. She was a devotee. That's why she could guide the child in that way, right? So Dhruv Maharaj, even though he wanted some property from the Lord, prosperity, he got purified. He told, came for a broken glass, I got diamond. So see, the other hand, Kamsa, Ravan and Hiranyakashipu were destroyed. They went to the demigods, and Dhruv Maharaj also had material desires, but he went to Krishna and he got purified. And finally he said, I don't want anything. Varam na ache. He says, Swamin Kritosmi, Varam na ache. I don't want any varam or boon. I'm so satisfied just by seeing you. So that's very important, that Krishna doesn't even, he fulfills, he gave Dhruvaloka, right? He fulfills your desire, but then he purifies you in such a way that you don't want anymore, you don't have any more desires. So there was a story of a boy from Brazil. So his father got a Bhagavad Gita from some devotees, did book distribution, and he took the Bhagavad Gita. And then he came home. He didn't know what it was. He just know it's a script, ancient script from India. So he just told his son that, see, I got a book. He didn't even know it's Bhagavad Gita. It's full of Sanskrit verses. If you want, you can just go through it. The son was not bothered. Son is like, who will read all this? And then later on, he was in college and he wanted to get a tattoo done. So that's a coming trend. All the youngsters want to get the tattoo done, even though it's so painful. Still, they want to look cool and all that. And then he was like, I want to get a tattoo done. So what will I do? If it's written in some Chinese or some language, then my classmates can't read. And then he thought, why Chinese? Let me get a tattoo of the Sanskrit verse from Bhagavad Gita. So he asked his father, I want a nice verse from Bhagavad Gita to get tattooed in my hand, so I look like a cool dude in all my classmates, and everyone will be like, oh wow, what is this verse? And I can say it's an ancient text from India. And so he asked his father, which is the best verse in Bhagavad Gita? I need to get it tattooed. So his father's like, last week I brought the Bhagavad Gita. How will I know? I didn't even read it. How will I know which is the best verse? And he was thinking, if I get tattooed some not nice verse, then it doesn't look good. I want the best verse. Now, whom to ask? He don't know any devotees. He didn't learn Bhagavad Gita. He didn't know anything. So he thought, let me read myself. So he started reading Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, second chapter, third, fourth, 18 chapters. And then you know what happened. I don't have to say, Krishna tattooed his heart with devotion. He became a devotee and he forgot about tattooing and all that, but then he became a devotee. So just imagine how Krishna drags you towards him. You don't know, right? And there was a person who wanted to find fault in Bhagavad Gita by Srila Prabhupada, because Prabhupada always says, my Bhagavad Gita is as it is. I didn't edit it, and it's as it is. It's like a sun. Bhagavad Gita is compared to a sun. Why? Because when the sun is glowing, even if you put hundreds of torchlight, it's not used. Only in darkness the torchlight has some value. But Bhagavad Gita is so shining that nobody can cover it up. Nobody can cover the sun. Even the clouds are covering your eyes, not the sun, right? So Prabhupada says, and the sun absorbs even cow urine and purifies it. Like all the material contaminations on the surface of earth gets purified by the rays of the sun. So definitely Bhagavad Gita is like that. When you read, when you get absorbed in it, all your anarthas get absorbed by it. And the sun remains pure as it is. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita is like that. And Prabhupada's like, before Prabhupada released this Bhagavad Gita as it is, so many translations of Bhagavad Gita was available all over the world, but nobody became a devotee. Why? Because it's not as it is. It's all very whimsical commentaries. But Prabhupada took it from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, took it from Sridhar Swami and all that, and he didn't develop anything by his own. It is all as it is. It's yadharu. No, so it had value. So this person was challenging Prabhupada that I'm going to find fault in Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada was 100% sure there's not going to be any fault, because Prabhupada's like, why should I comment on something which is fully commented by the Supreme Lord? Krishna didn't leave any verse half commented in Bhagavad Gita. Didn't. Krishna is Purnam. Whatever he makes is also Purnam. If something is defective, then you add. You need something called proofreading. When you do research and all that, you have so many things, so many people to double cross-check whether you have done mistake. Because you are imperfect. With imperfect sense, we can't do perfect research. But Krishna is perfect, right? So what Prabhupada's like, what can I, as being a insignificant soul, comment on something which Krishna said? And also there's like Krishna says yoga kshemam vahamyaham, and one of the insurance company, they takes it up and they mix their logo as yoga kshemam vahamyam, and we pay premium every month or every 3 months. We have to pay our premium for LIC. And then what happens, we have a lot of confidence in them, but the verse is stolen from Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna is the supreme author of that whole verse, and we don't pay premium to Krishna. And what is our premium to Krishna? Devotional service. So this person was going on finding fault in Bhagavad Gita, and he ended up reading the whole Bhagavad Gita. He became a devotee. He's like, he surrendered to Prabhupada. He's like, I can't do anything. There's nothing wrong in this. So devotees are like postmen. Devotees are the one who delivers Krishna to you. Initially, we needed a push to come to Krishna consciousness. And as we chant and as we progress little bit by Krishna's and Guru's mercy, we start attracting others to Krishna consciousness. Now, like for example, there's a magnet and there's all iron chillets. The iron chillets, if they are 1 kilometers away from the magnet, it doesn't get attracted. Why? So similarly, we were all away from Krishna. We were forgetful of Krishna in lifetime, and then we were away from Krishna. But someone have to take the iron chillet and bring little close to the magnet. Then it gets automatically attracted. So who did that? Guru. A guru, a spiritual master, your Shiksha gurus, or some Vaishnava. Without their mercy, you can't reach to Krishna. So someone have pushed you towards the magnet, Krishna, and you got attracted. And once the iron chillets get attracted to Krishna, to the magnet, then what happens? The iron chillets start behaving like a magnet, and it starts attracting other iron chillets. Similarly, when someone associates with Krishna, they become qualified to attract others to Krishna. That's why Krishna consciousness is said like a contagious disease. It spreads faster than corona, right? So there's a lot of pastimes where Krishna proves that he is a friend of the Lord. So once what happened, there was a person who gives pan. He sells pan, but he doesn't sell those tobacco wala pan, that are arachnid one, the sweet pan. Like even in marriages and all, they distribute sweet pan, which is comfortable to be taken. Everyone can take. It's not toxic. So something like that, a sweet pan. So he's just very poor. He just have a picture of Jagannath with him. This happened in Jagannath Puri. So he used to, every day he heard from Bhagavad Gita that whatever we have, we should offer to the Lord. Yat karoshi yat asnasi yat juhoshi tadasi yat tapasyasya kaundeya tat purusha madarpanam. 9th chapter 27th sloka, Krishna says, whatever you see, he eat, whatever you do, whatever you offer, do it as an offering to me. So he thought, I have only pan with me and I don't have anything else to offer to Krishna. He don't even make a bhog to offer. He don't know anything, but he was pure in heart. So whatever pan, the first pan of that day, when he sells the first pan, he offers to Jagannath, the picture, and then goes. He offers 2 pan, Jagannath and Baladev. So he offers and go. So what happened in Jagannath Puri, there was a devotee who always go for Shayanarati. Towards the end, after his work, he goes and chant his rounds in front of Jagannath, and the pujari keeps Jagannath to sleep, puts Jagannath to sleep and close the altar. And then the devotee leaves. So every day, this devotee goes at night, not the panwala, the other one, goes and see the Shayanarati. But one day he was little late to leave. He saw 2 boys, one black and one white complexion boys, leaving Jagannath's temple. They were coming from the altar. And he never saw them. They were so effulgent, and they were like having nice garments on top of them and some nice jewelry. And he was like, who's this? And he thought it's some boys always roaming around in temple. So one black complexion and white complexion, and they used to go to the panwala's house every night. And then this person got thought like, let me follow them, what is happening? And then he followed them, and he peeped in the panwala's house. Through the window he saw these two boys asking for pan from the panwala and eating every night. So the panwala is like, okay, they can't come to the shop, they are boys, so he used to give. And then one day this person went and asked the panwala, who are the two boys who's coming? And he's like, I don't know, but they look so good, they look so beautiful that I just give them pan. And he asked, do they give you money? And like, no. One day they told, oh, we forgot to take money. The second day they told, tomorrow we'll get you the money. And third day, again, they say some excuse. And I can't deny, they are two boys, young boys. And I thought, what is there in a pan? So I just feed them pan. So the other person told, tomorrow when the two boys come, you take money from them, or else don't give pan to them. And or take something from them and don't give pan otherwise. Then he agreed, the panwala agreed. So the next night again, the two boys went to the panwala, and the panwala said that you have to give me money, otherwise I can't feed you. And then they were like, till now you never asked money. Okay, do one thing, we have all these jewels and our upper cloths made up of gold, and all the jewels are there, you keep this, tomorrow we'll come and take it out, like a barter system, just keep it, tomorrow we'll come. And then the other person ran to the panwala's shop just to see what it was. That was Jagannath's and Baladev's ornaments and upper cloth. And when they could not believe, when they went back to the altar and saw, opened, Jagannath's upper cloth and Baladev's upper cloth and the jewels were missing. And then they were like, how did the panwala, he's not even following any rules and regulations, but the lords come, leave Jagannath Puri temple and go personally to the panwala to take the pan. And from that day onwards, the pujaris told Jagannath and Baladev, don't leave the altar, stay there, we will get you pan. And then it seems the pan is offered at the end of Chapan Bhog to the lordships. So a panwala, very simple at heart, could attract Krishna. Why? Because of his pure devotion. So Krishna don't want anything from you, but then he's always with us in all our material problems and everything. Problems are not coming because Krishna is punishing us. People, when they have problems, they blame Krishna. Why are you doing this to me? Always. Why are you doing this? No, they keep asking, they become atheists, they don't go to temples, they don't have belief in all this, and all these problems happen. But we should know, Krishna is not punishing the jiva. It's the material nature who is punishing us. A mother doesn't punish her, doesn't hate her child, even if the child does the biggest of crime in the world, right? For a crow, the child is the universe, the crow, baby crow. But for the world, it's just a crow. I mean, it eats dirt, and we don't give much value for the crow. But for the mother crow, the baby crow is her universe. No, so that's the love of a mother. So Suniti, when Dhruv Maharaj approached her, she said, "My love is nothing. Krishna's love is like thousands and millions of mothers put together. Love put together. It's not even a drop of Krishna's love." So just imagine the ocean of Krishna's love. He is so merciful to us that he appears personally to deliver the fallen souls, right? So the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is quoted here. So it is said about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ananda Leela Maya Vigrahaya Hemavadivyacha Visundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more merciful than Krishna. Why? Both are same, both are Krishna, but then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more merciful. Why? Because he gives you Krishna Prem. Nobody can give you Krishna Prem. Even Krishna could not give, but he gives. And he doesn't see a qualification. Krishna said one criteria, you have to surrender, sarva dharmam parityaja, then I will take care of you. That's the Krishna's criteria. He have a demand. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have no demands. Are you the most fallen? Come. I'll deliver you. Like Jagai Madai. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most munificent or most merciful incarnation because he come in the form of Radha Krishna together. It's a bhav, it's like that. And he has come to deliver the fallen souls, right? Especially for that purpose. So more merciful than Krishna. And he doesn't see your qualification. He doesn't see what your background is, nothing. Patra, apatra vichar nahi stan astan. Yehi Yehi anapaya tahe kahe kare premadana. Means he doesn't see your path, apatra. Are you qualified? Are you not qualified? Stan astana. He doesn't see whether this is a nice place to give, nothing. Yehi anapaya. Whoever he sees, tane kare premadhan. He give you premadhan, which is love of Godhead. So that's possible only through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So once Akbar and Birbal had a fight. In the sense, Akbar is like, why the Lord has to personally appear to deliver the people? Like it is said, Paritranaya Sadhu Nam. So he comes personally to deliver the devotees. Why? He could have sent some representative. He can send some expansions or someone else. No, he have a lot of agents, energies. Why the Lord personally have to come? And then Birbal is like, I'll give you the answer tomorrow. So Birbal start thinking. He's very intelligent. So what he did a dummy, a doll of who looks like Akbar's son. So he took that dummy and went on top of a floor, and both Akbar and Birbal both were talking. Suddenly, he took this doll and pushed it from top of the floor to the swimming pool. There was a pond, a swimming pool beneath, and he pushed that doll, the dummy son. So the Akbar from far, he thought that is his son. He didn't look anywhere. He rushed and jumped into the pool to save that dummy doll, thinking that that was his son. So he took the doll, came out, then he realized that's not his son, that's just a dummy. And he looked at Birbal, why this comedy? Why are you doing all this to me? And Birbal is like, this is the answer for yesterday's question. Akbar didn't understand. What? This is the answer? Why? And Birbal is like, why did you personally jump in the pond? You could have asked me, I'm your minister, or you have lot of servants. You could have asked some of the servants to jump into the swimming pool and save your son. Why did you jump? And Akbar is like, that's my son, so I have to come. Similarly, Krishna, we are all Krishna's sons and daughters. Definitely Krishna has to come to save his devotees, especially devotees. Krishna is not partial to anyone, but still for his devotees, he takes special care. So Krishna personally comes to deliver the devotees because that's the love which Krishna has towards his son. So a mother can never curse her child. The material mothers can't curse. What about the Supreme Father, Krishna? He can never curse us. He never betrays us. In the material world, the so-called friends betrays us and we get hurt, but then Krishna never betrays us. The friendship is a ship, compared to a ship. And then when the ship is tied to the harbor, when it's not on the sea, it's in the shore, it's tied, and a lot of high waves and high tides comes, the ship doesn't move because it will be saved with an anchor. No, it has an anchor on which the ship is just put it there. Just by tying the ship, it won't help. Sometimes you need to put the anchor down deep, and then the ship stays. Similarly, our human form of life is like a ship, and then our relation with Krishna is like a ship, and the anchor is actually Krishna, who holds us from all the problems in our life so that we don't get lost. But what we need to be done is we have to be active in Krishna consciousness. You need to be there in Krishna consciousness. Initially, it looks difficult. Initially, chanting 16 rounds looks difficult. One person asked one senior devotee, where in Bhagavad Gita did Krishna say chant 16 rounds? Just show me. I need proof. Then only I will chant 16 rounds. And then the devotee just took the sloka. Satatam kirtayendo mam. Krishna says, Satatam kirtayendo mam. Always chant my glories. Always. Krishna didn't mention 16 rounds. It was Srila Prabhupada's mercy that he made it 16 rounds for us. Because he knew 16 rounds is only a great thing for all. And in Kali Yuga, giving 2 hours to Krishna is a big thing in 24 hours. So Prabhupada knows that. So instead of making it Satatam Kirtayandoma, Prabhupada, the Acharyas made it 16 so that it's easy for us. So the devotee is like, okay, now Krishna says Sadatam Kirtayantayam. You told whatever said in Bhagavad Gita you will follow. Okay, now start start chanting 24 hours. And then that person is like, no, I think 16 rounds is okay for me. I'm okay. I mean, Prabhupada is giving so much mercy. Why don't I take it? You take it, no? Prabhupada is giving. And he promises, you chant 16 rounds, follow the 4 regulative principle, he will take you back home, back to Godhead. And never underestimate the words of Prabhupada. When he says something, he means it, not like us. He means it. But then we should be sincere. We should be doing our rounds. And so that's very important to know. So Krishna, inside Vrindavan and outside Vrindavan, Krishna is different. Different in the sense he's the same person, but then in Vrindavan, it's like he's at home. And in outside Vrindavan, he's like official. I mean, he's in Dwaraka, he is Dwargadish, then he is in Mathura, killing Kamsa, and all these things happens in Dwaraka and Mathura. But in Vrindavan, Krishna is the sweet young boy, without slippers, with mukut and a peacock feather and flute, like a cowherd boy. And it is described about Krishna and Balram. Jalatara Shashivarno, Gopavesho Kishoro, Sahajara Gana Vrindo, Kridamano Brajesho, Natavarajita Vesho, Nila Pitambaradyo, Jagata Janana Heto, Rama Krishnam Natosmi. So Rama and Krishna, they like Jalatara Shashivarno. Jalatara is a dark monsoon cloud and Shashi is moon. So one is dark complexion boy and the other one is a white moon like Balram. So both of them, they come with Kridamana Brajesho. They do all kind of naughty things in Vrindavan. With cowherd boys they come and they are Gopavesho Kishoro. They dress in Gopavesh. In Vrindavan, Krishna has a bugle. Why he blows a bugle, the buffalo horn, so that informing everyone it's time to play, come. So it's like an indication, sending an SMS those days, bugle, so that all the cowherd boys blow the bugle and Krishna knows, oh, it's time to play, let me go. So, and then he has a flute and all this is possible only in Braja. He has just Vaijayanti Mala. But in outside Vrindavan, Krishna has a helmet, he has a nice shoes, he has all these gamchas on him and he's dressed up like a Kshatriya. But in Vrindavan, Krishna is not like that. So Krishna likes to be in Vrindavan. The Vraja Bhav or the Vrindavan Bhumi is so special that Villamangalam Thakur says we need to have the Vraja Bhav or love of Vrindavan to enter into Krishna's pastimes, because that love is pure. They doesn't want anything. When they entered the snake, the last snake called Agasur, when Agasur opened his mouth, he was so huge that they thought it's some mountain or cave, and all the cowherd boys ran into the mouth of Agasur. They didn't even care. Even if it's a snake, they don't bother because they know Krishna is with them. So they were looking at Krishna and Krishna, come, we are going. And they are happily going. And Krishna suddenly saw Agasur's eyes moving and he knew that's a demon. And he is waiting for Krishna to come. Till that, he was opening his mouth and keeping all the cowherd boys, the cows, everyone entered except Krishna. And Krishna had to save them, not to kill the Agasur. He didn't go inside to kill Agasur. He went inside to save his devotees. But the confidence which the Gopas had, that Krishna is with me, why should I get scared? When you hold when you're young, when you hold your parents' hand and cross the road, you might get lost somewhere because you are holding. But when Krishna holds you, when your father or mother holds your hand, they are not going to leave you, whatever happens, no matter what. And you can close your eyes and cross the road, because that's what a devotee does. For a devotee, Krishna is catching the hand, not we are catching Krishna's hand. So that's the difference. And so here it is said in Vrindavan, the Gopas are so fortunate. Shukadeva Goswami says they're Krita Punya Punja. They are so fortunate in so many lifetime. They have a lot of pious deeds, devotional service. That's why they are able to play with Krishna. Krishna could carry them on their shoulders and go around and play in Vrindavan. Who's more fortunate than the Gopas? So inside Vrindavan, Krishna rolls in the dust of the backyard of the cowherd boys, in the cow urine and cow mud. He rolls in the dust. But outside Vrindavan, the great yogis, they meditate. Swagatam, Swagatam, Suswagatam. Krishna doesn't go. He doesn't want all this yajna and everything. In Vrindavan, without calling, Krishna enters everyone's house and steal butter. But here, how much of a yajna you do outside Vrindavan, he is not pleased. And in Vrindavan, Krishna speaks even to a cow. When a cow is not well or something, then Krishna goes to the cow. Nandini, how are you? I mean, what do you want? You want grass? You want that? You want this? And Krishna speaks even to a cow. He's so vachalam in Vrindavan. But outside Vrindavan, even though Krishna appears in the heart of a yogi, he doesn't speak. He doesn't give instructions. He just appears and keeps quiet. He doesn't reciprocate. And inside Vrindavan, Krishna ask for the dust of the gopis' feet or the dust of the Vrajavasis. He likes to be their servant. He like to serve them. Outside Vrindavan, the yogis are waiting Krishna to be their master. Krishna rejects it. So that's why Vrindavan Prem or Vraja Prem is so glorious, that Krishna is a true well-wisher everywhere, but then in Vrindavan he's special, because for them, they don't worship Krishna because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We worship Krishna because we knew he is Etecham Sakala Pumsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. We knew he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so we worship him. Inside Vrindavan, they don't know Krishna is supreme. They just know he is the object of love. So Prabhupada speaks about liberated souls here. In liberated souls, what do you mean by liberation? Not just getting mukti. Shukdev Goswami, they were liberated souls, but they were in material world. So pure devotees being in material world, like yesterday we saw Madhavendra Puri, he was not in this material world. He was liberated, in the sense free from material contamination, free from all the anarthas. And liberation actually means keeping Krishna in the center, conscious that Krishna is my only object of love, or Krishna is my only well-wisher. If you see that, and if you trust that Krishna is going to be our only well-wisher, he's always going to be with us. But if we doubt, if we have little problem with the faith, so how do you develop this faith? By reading scriptures, by reading Shrimad Bhagavatam. Every day you read Shrimad Bhagavatam, you're sure to go back to Krishna, because Shrimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. And Krishna is more pleased when you associate with Shrimad Bhagavatam, because it's a spotless Quran. And even great liberated souls, they relish Shrimad Bhagavatam. So Shrimad Bhagavatam, it's not just a book to be read and forgot. It has to be taken into our life. And these are small instructions which Krishna gives. And because of Srila Prabhupada, we're able to understand its glories and understand how great Krishna is. So the moment we hear different pastimes in Shrimad Bhagavatam, this is not just stories. This is to make us strong in our faith in Krishna. Just to have a lot of faith in Krishna, so that we also can come to a stage of pure devotional service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anybody have a question? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
To get the Bhagavatam, do you have any rules, means to read and or to keep?
Nothing. You order it from our temple. It's called Mangaluru. All the go to our website. You will get all the languages are available. Please get it. No rules and regulation. Anybody
For
can.
Mataji also, right?
Yeah, anybody can.
Okay.
There's no rules for that. Anybody can read it. That's why Srila Prabhupada made it so available for all of us, that in any language, whichever is your language preference, you can read it. And it's easily given to us, because the purports and Prabhupada have given it in very simple language. Anybody can read. Okay, even kids can read. This kids Bhagavatam. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
Sannyasi should not be refused from any gift, they say, no? Like, what gift do they ask? Like, they don't have any material desires, no? What is the meaning of gift then?
It's not given gift, no? They should not be rejected from any charity which we give. Like for charities, not gifts success, but gifts are charity. What you give is also kind of gifts, no? So they don't accept it. They do madhukari. That is to purify you. See, when you go to Vrindavan, especially sometimes we give donation or charity to the Vrajavasis. Why? In order to get ourselves purified. It's because as grihasthas, we are supposed to give charity. It's not to be denied. Charity has to be given. But the gifts are in the sense of charity, okay? In the sense, a sannyasi should not deny the gift which we give. Like in the sense, because that is for the upliftment of the grihasthas. So sannyasi goes to a grihastha house not to get something, to give something. He gives Krishna to us, and by accepting our gifts, he's purifying us. He's taking our little karma away. So that's what, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
So in those days, in Chaturmas, Aishi, your voice is breaking. Can you put in on the chat? I'll open the chat. Your question. You having network issue. Okay. Anyone else have a question, or can we stop? So I'll get ready for Gaur Purnima. Just one more day. Yes, Lavanya Mataji. Aishi, please type your question in the chat. You have network issue.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Can we keep Krishna deities at home, not small, little big deities?
Big in the sense? So big? Only Krishna?
Ha, Krishna, Radha Krishna.
Radha Krishna, you have it or you don't? You're going to get it?
No, I want to take it, Mataji, so that's why.
Might be, can you can wait for some more time, because normally for Radha Krishna worship there's a lot of rules and regulations. It's actually after Brahmanic initiation you're supposed to keep it, but Gaurnita you can keep at home.
Gaurnita.
Yeah, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, Gaurnita is
Okay.
them you can keep as Grihastas. Prabhupada says every Grihastha can have Gaurnitais at home, but Radha Krishna you can wait for some more time. There's a lot of things to be done, so you should not do any offense to them, but Gaurnitais never take any offense. Okay.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Could you please tell us about what is Brahmanic initiation?
Okay, Brahmanic means there are different type levels to surrender to a guru. So first is aspire. You aspire or you like to take and you fill a form. That's it. We will be chanting more than one round. And next is shelter or it's called ashraya or shelter, where you chant 16 rounds and try to follow the 4 regulative principles. Try. Okay, so that is shelter. And next is after taking shelter for 6 months to 1 year, your Shiksha Guru watches you that are you following the 4 regulative principles, and you're chanting 16 rounds. You're watched, and then you're given first initiation. First initiation is Harinam initiation, where you get Harinam. The Hare Krishna mantra is given by the Guru. He gives you new neck beads. He gives you new beads to chant, and he nullifies the karma, and the purification happens. He gives you a spiritual name. That's first initiation. And then you have to continuously chant your rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles strictly. Next is second initiation or Brahmanic initiation, where a Gayatri mantra is given by the Guru, and then you're qualified to do deity worship and even become a pujari in the temple. I mean, you can worship in the altar. So that's different grades, Mataji, as we progress, advance.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Sindhu Mataji.
I just now heard that Radha Krishna should not be kept among the deities. Is that what I heard, right?
No, but if it is there in your home from long back, and if your parents were worshipping, you have already got it, no problem, continue your worship. But what we told is the Radha Krishna has to be given lot of rules and regulations are there. So if nobody has it now, just wait for some more time. If you already have it, worship, no problem in it. Because you are doing
actually, Mataji, I got it last December because I liked Radha Krishna from Amazon. And yesterday I received Radha Krishna picture from ISKCON Mangaluru.
Okay. You worship.
So I kept it there amongst the deities.
You can keep. See, what I'm saying is, as we come to know things, we do keep some restrictions. So the Brahmanic initiation is there, then they keep Radha Krishna, and Gaurnitais are kept before that. But if you already got it, continue worshiping.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay. No harm, no, yeah. No, in the sense, I'm not doing anything wrong.
No, never. Krishna accepts your service. Don't worry.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Krishna came to you. You are so blessed that Krishna came. It's not easy to just get a Bhagavatam set or Krishna deities. It's not just you pay and get it, but it's time for the Lord to come to your home. So he came. Just offer whatever you can, chant and do your service. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm not sure about all these things, the pan supari and all that thing. It's just a story. It's a pastime happened in Jagannath Puri. We should not doubt all these things. Krishna doesn't eat the toxic pan, as I told you, a sweet pan. Whatever you keep now, the fennel seed and the sweet part. That's the thing. It's just, even in marriage, they distribute that pan, which is not toxic. Okay. And I don't know all these personal things. You should not ask. Kannada sang Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about that. Thank you, Nirja Mataji. I really don't know which song he sang, but then this is what I heard. But then yes, there are so many songs written by Purandradas and all that. So it might be he have sung it. Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, sweet pan. Okay, this is sweet pan, not the other pan. Definitely, intoxication is not allowed, and Krishna doesn't show anything by example that we should not follow. So definitely, he's the Supreme Lord. He created all these things. He can have anything in the world. So this is the sweet thing. Yeah, sweet pan is kept even for Jagannath temple. It's kept as an offering. Okay, I think we can end here. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhupe evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anandapudi Vaishnava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grandaraj Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.